The problem with foreign aid is that it's based on two fundamental misconceptions. The first is that there is a thing called underdevelopment. What underdevelopment means is we have the quaint notion that all the world should be like us. Now, it may be that countries don't want to be like us, that they don't want to become highly industrialized, highly urbanized. So, what we're really doing, in a sense, is saying they should be like us, as prosperous and as organized as us. That's the first misunderstanding. The second misunderstanding is that they could be as prosperous as we are. See, our prosperity isn't accidental. Our prosperity depends on fundamental historical facts. It depends on the weakness of our extended families and the intense degree of individualism. If you have tribal societies where the group dominates rather than the individual, as in Pakistan, as in Afghanistan, as in much of the Middle East, you cannot have a modern developed economy. It doesn't matter how much aid, it doesn't matter whether you send in troops, it makes absolutely not a blind bit of difference. And the other more fundamental thing is that very often, and I know it's well meant, and I know pictures of starving children are desperately disturbing, but putting modern medicine into an underdeveloped economy is insane, because what you do is you guarantee that you produce children who can't eventually be fed. You get this vast burgeoning of the population of Africa and of the Middle East. It is catastrophic. I know, again, it sounds absolutely brutal. You can only have modern medicine with a modern economy. Otherwise, population and resources get out of kilter. Again, you see, Michelle, so this is where history really is important. Until the 18th century, the whole world was kept in balance, because when population grew too far, the resources sustaining it broke down and people starved and the population rebalanced. This is called Malthusianism. This is broken for the first time in this country with the new sort of economy that we developed here, which enables us to conquer the world, this extraordinary new... you need
to let Laurie come back, because we're almost out of time, and you said he's basically speaking thoughtless drivel. Laurie.
Yeah, thanks, David. And so on your 2 points there, the first one, I agree with you that British foreign aid should not be spent trying to replicate British-type societies abroad. For example, a lot of countries are burdened by massive amounts of air pollution from coal power plants, and I would like it if British foreign aid actually made sure it was investing out in a different type of energy system for those places and as an enabling partner, not it being imposed on them. But on this point about how countries developed in different ways because of family structures and tribal elements and stuff, you mentioned Pakistan, Afghanistan. I think their different development trajectories have got far more to do with the last thing that you were saying, which is that Britain then went and brutally conquered parts of the world and extracted huge amounts of wealth from those countries.
This simply is not true.
That set them on a different development trajectory. We know this.
Nonsense.
We know this from I know that you are, someone who is incredibly learned on history. A key part of the history of development trajectories in the world was the colonial era and the damage that imperial countries imposed on colonies that they extracted from, that they took people to be put into slavery, that they killed local people, that they allowed to suffer under a famine and other kinds of problems.
This makes almost no difference